Hi everyone, welcome to class. I'm Miss Faust. Well, we are talking Richard Connell, The Most Dangerous Game. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And your assignment from last class period was to begin reading his story. Good. I'm so glad you have. Are you enjoying it? It's fascinating, isn't it? It is. Okay, so we're going to go over it a little bit today. Then I'm going to give you the assignment, and that's it. Isn't that exciting too? Okay. All right, let's begin with a few tidbits right behind me here. Prediction time. Remember, making inferences, making predictions. We talked about that. Making predictions and the like. Okay, so prediction time that you are supposed to be working on. What does game mean? What does game mean? You know, let me do something here. It is a special term that we need to think about. So it will need some quotation marks. Okay, so what does it mean? If you're just looking at the title, The Most Dangerous Game, what do you predict game means? So we have two meanings. Okay? One of them could be that we are talking about the actual hunted animal. Oh my goodness, yes indeed. Yes indeed. That would be one prediction, that we're talking about hunted animals. They are considered to be called game. What about the other one? Do you think it's about an actual game, such as Monopoly, the game of life, and the like? That's another one. So, truly, an actual game. Okay. Let me take a look at my notes. What else we need there? I think we've got that taken care of. So, we're talking hunted animals, perhaps, or an actual game. So, if you started reading, you may start to get some ideas. Which one of those two predictions is the correct one? Of course, by the end of the reading, you'll know, won't you? Okay. Here are the main characters. We have two, General Zaroff and Sanger Rainsford. You meet Sanger Rainsford at the very beginning of the story, don't you? Yes indeed. What happens to that poor man? Yes, he fell overboard. Can you believe that? Yes, and that mode of transport sort of went off without him, didn't it? Yes, indeed. And he found himself on an island. Oh my goodness. We can go right to the setting. Ship Trap Island. Oh, look at that name, Ship Trap. Yes. All the sailors actually come near that area and they hear Ship Trap Island. They get scared. I'm sure you'll figure out why. Okay, so yes, he ends up swimming his way over to an island. He hears the noise. And he's going, what is that noise? That doesn't sound like an animal. What's it sound like? Oh boy, I'm sure he figures out the answer to that, doesn't he? Yes, he's what? What does he do for a living? Yes, he's a big game hunter, isn't he? Yes, indeed. He loves to do that. He loves to go out and hunt. Does he really care about the feelings of what he hunts? Those poor animals? No, not really. Not at all. We get that at the very beginning. Yes, he does say it is best sport in the world, doesn't he? He agrees with his shipmate at the very beginning. Okay. Yes, indeed. He doesn't really care about the animal, how it feels. No, not really. Okay, but yes, he is very good at hunting. Extremely good. He has a great history in that. Okay? So, he's not very sympathetic to the poor hunted animals. What about General Zaroff? If you've gotten far enough into the story, you meet General Zaroff, don't you? Yes, yes, indeed. We learn that he comes from where? Is he from that island? No, he's not. He's from Russia, known in the old days as the Soviet Union. So he is of those days, isn't he? Of that wonderful place of old. Yes, indeed. And he too likes to hunt, doesn't he? Yes, he does. Oh, by the way, does Rainsford have books or anything out? Because General Zaroff seems to really know him. Something to think about. Well, how does he know him? And he recognizes that name. Samuel Rainsford. He knows him right away. He's a very nice host, isn't he? Yes, indeed. But he does have something in mind, doesn't he? Okay. I'll let you guys mull that over. If you read far enough into it, you know the answer. If you haven't, please make sure you continue reading. They are interesting characters, both hunters. General Zaroff is very calculating. Rainsford, not very sympathetic. And I'm talking about, with regards to the animal. It's a living. It's a calling. It's a hobby. I'm going to go shoot that animal, and that's it. We're not going to worry about how it feels. So he's not really worried. He's just into the hunting. Okay. All right. So we got that. Now, I want to share a little bit of history. Please make sure that you take down this information. Okay. Now, this is in regards to General Zaroff and Ivan. Remember? I'm sure you met Ivan. Yes. Rainsford met him first, and Ivan is, one nice bodyguard, isn't he? So it's in reference to those two gentlemen. Now keep in mind, General Zaroff, Ivan, you get the idea, Russian names and the like. So, Soviet Union of the old days, tough. They're tough guys, aren't they? Okay. They're considered, and it's mentioned in the story, to be, at least Ivan is considered to be a Cossack. Okay? And in history, we did have Cossacks in the Soviet Union, or if you rather refer to as Russia, okay? But we did have Cossacks in the Soviet Union / Russia, and they were considered to be very, very military-like. They were highly militarized individuals, very trained. Okay, trained to protect, to kill. Okay, they fought for centuries in the name of the Tsar. So if you know your world history, and you know the history of the Soviet Union / Russia, you'll know that that nation was ruled by czars for many years, many years. Okay, so yes, they had, as for protection, they had individuals named Cossacks. And again, you did not want to go up against a Cossack because he was so highly trained and he was an instinctive killer. Okay, so yes, they fought. And Russia, they were very, very violent. Okay, again, their job was to protect the Tsar and his family, and if they needed to be brutal, so be it. Okay. However, after the Tsar, okay, and you'll think of Tsar Nicholas, okay, in 1917, if you remember the fall of the Soviet Union, 1917, 18, 19, those years, after that fall, the Cossacks became fiercely hunted by the Soviet regime, okay? So, for centuries, so many years, your Cossacks were the hunters. But once the Tsar no longer existed, because again, the last Tsar and his family, they were murdered, okay? Once that Tsar was gone, in a way, he was their protector. They could do no wrong because hey, Tsar so-and-so says, this is what we're supposed to do. Well, they didn't have that protection anymore. So now, instead of being the hunters, they turn into the hunted. Please put that into perspective with the story. Ivan and General Zaroff, especially Ivan Cossack, they were hunted in their old country. So they came to a wonderful island, Ship Trap, and that has a meaning, doesn't it? Yeah, you're probably going, yeah, I know the meaning. That's good. Because, that's great. That's good to know. They came to this island because they themselves became hunted. But that could change here at the Ship Trap Island. Okay? So Ivan and General Zaroff were the hunters. Now they became the hunted. So they had to flee. They are just like the Cossacks of old. They had to flee their own country. Okay, so that's just a little bit of history so that you can understand where General Zaroff and Ivan are coming from. Okay, so again, the Cossacks were important people. Okay, in the old Russia, the Soviet Union. If you have any questions, please let me know via my email address. All right. Here's your assignment. Okay. I need you, number one, it's 2 parts. I need you to finish reading Connell's story because next class period, let me make sure. Next class period, yes, indeedy. Next class period, I'll go through highlights. I can't, go through it in the entire story. I'm going to hit as much as I can, like summarize the high points of this story. After all, it is long. If it were only 2 pages, that'd be great, for summarizing. But I'm going to hit the highlights. And if you have any questions after that, email me, please. Please do so. So be sure you're done reading The Most Dangerous Game. Was there something else I wanted to mention? No. Make sure you've read it. Please do not come to class unprepared. In other words, you haven't read the story and expect to write an essay. It won't work. Okay, I realize the story is not 5 or even 10 pages long. Okay, but it's a good one. And our writer, Richard Connell, has so much to share in this story. Again, prediction time. Game. Okay, so please make sure you read it. Finish reading. I need you to copy this down here and answer. So put a pause to the video if you need, and copy it down, or however you want to do this. We've got who or what does General Zaroff hunt? What happened to Ivan? What happened at the end of the story? Okay, let's do this again. Who or what does General Zaroff hunt? What happened to poor old Ivan? And what happened at the end? At the end of the story, what happens? Okay? Please make sure that I've got this. I don't want to see one and then there's an answer. I need to see what you're answering. Okay? So please make sure I see this and then the answer. And it is due today. Today, folks. Okay? Be ready next class period. Because the essay is coming up just like that. Okay? So send it to me immediately when you're done with it today. Get it out. Today. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Till next class time. Bye-bye.